Hello, my name is Kenny, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you step by step how to start an Etsy shop with a 3D printer. Now, I've been 3D printing for on and off 6 years now. Started out, I was in high school, I was taking a class in 3D modeling, and I was talking to a guy at the mall, and he said, "Hey, I do 3D printing." I said, "Hey, I do some 3D modeling." And so I started working for him at the kiosk, doing semi-custom parts and just running it while he had to go home. From there, I waited a few years, and I think it was early 2021, I decided that I was going to buy my first 3D printer. That was the Voxlab Aquila, the original one, and that lasted me for about a year, maybe a year and a half, before I decided that it was just a little bit too small. It had a good build size for stuff that was really small, like a benchy, perfect size for that. But when I wanted to start making bigger things like props, I was really stretching it just to fit some of the things on there. So I was looking around on eBay for a little bit, and I found a deal on a base CR10 that was, it's like $140, but compared to every other printer at that point that was that size, it was perfect price for what I was getting. That I've been using for the last almost year, and actually if you saw my last video, I just upgraded it like 3 times over to make it so I can use this printer for at least another year, if not more. So with that, I realized that I now have the perfect printer setup where I can start making bulk items and selling them. Now, when you do that, you do want to try to figure out, what does a person want from an Etsy shop? They want something that is cool, that you can only really get if it's 3D printed, or if it is mass produced, it's going to be way more expensive. Or they want something that is just nice to look at when it's 3D printed. So I have decided to start off with an infinity cube. Those of you who don't know, it's basically a cube that when you fold it, you can unfold it in a different way, and you can just keep going back and forth between a cube and a rectangle and a third rectangle. Super easy to print. I think the only problem I had was I accidentally printed the hinges and they connected. So, with that being such an easy print, I know that that is something I can produce multiple times in a row. In fact, I'm currently working on one right now. From there, we need to decide, what colors are we going to be printing in? Now, a lot of people are print in black or white or gray. I currently print in red, and I just got some red and blue filament in. So the beginning of my shop is going to be just red and blue. But as time goes on, as I start getting more and more orders, I'll start adding in more colors. You don't want to give too many colors at the beginning, otherwise you're opening up all your filament and it's going to absorb all the moisture in the air and it's going to start breaking on you, which you do not want. You want your filament to last you a long time. So if you stick with 1 or 2 colors, you can go through those 1 or 2 colors a lot faster, meaning you'll kind of get the feel of how fast everything goes. So, as of right now, I'm going to be hopping on my computer and I'm going to get started on getting the Etsy shop pulled up and filled out. Alright, here we are. Here is my Etsy shop. Now, I created a new account just to make this. I do have another Etsy. I haven't really used it. So I just figured creating a new base account is going to be just easier, and this way I know which ones are getting sold and where I'm getting stuff. So you're going to go to your account. This is if you're on computer, of course. If you're on your phone, go ahead and just download the Etsy seller app. It's a pretty easy to get started. You just follow their instructions. But we're going to go to sell on Etsy. And you're going to find this page. List your first item for just 20 cents. You can only pay transaction, payment, processing, and offsite advertising fees when you make a sale. So, let's just hit get started and go from there. Let's do this. So, I'm starting to sell for the first time ever That's me. I do have experience selling in person, but it is not currently my business that I'm doing that for. So, I don't think I want any help right now, but if you would like help, this is going to be a nice place where they can tell you how to do everything. Alright, start your shop. So we're going to do English, US, US currency, name your shop. I'm just going to name it my username because that's what I want to learn by, or not learn by, that's what I want to be known by. Alright, so here you're going to be creating your first listing. Now, one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure you have photos of your first product. When it comes to 3D printing, that will be a little bit harder to do. You're going to have to get a product first that you are willing to take a picture of, and you want to make sure it looks good. So, I'm going to hit show all files, and I am going to figure out where I just put that. So, I'm going to plop in my 3 photos that I have. Alright, so as you can see, I have just a basic white background. I have it in 3 different positions, and this way people can see that it does fold and it does go back into a cube shape. I'm not going to be adding a video as I do not have one. I will be adding a video later on, but I'm currently waiting on the other one to print because this one did fail, but I wanted to get this up and going anyways. So, the title of it. You want to name it something... Oop. Nope, Fidget Infinity Cube. So, you want to name it something that people will know what it is almost immediately. People recognize it, they will know what it is, and they will understand how it works. So, that's why you do the 3 different pictures, and you name it what it's typically called. Now, Fidget Infinity Cube, that's a little bit harder to remember. So, when you go into the category, I'm going to do 3D printing. We will do desk toys. Primary color, we are going to do red. We will add a blue one in, as I said, once I have the other one printed and I can start a blue one. Occasion. I don't really think this has an occasion. This is just a fidget toy. Holiday, not really. Renewal options, I'm going to do manual for now, seeing as with it being a brand new listing and this being a brand new shop, you don't want it to just automatically charge your card every month if you're not making money. Because if you aren't making money from an item, why would you continue to offer said item? The physical object, obviously we will be shipping the physical file to them. And then description. When you are using somebody else's file, you have to make sure that the file that you have, you either credit that person, or if you don't need to, you don't have to. Now, it all depends on each file. Make sure you're looking at all of your licenses, but you need to make sure that whichever one you're using, you don't accidentally post it without crediting them and then get flagged for that and get it taken down within a few days. You want to make sure it stays up for as long as it possibly can. So I'm going to go find the file that I have. I'm going to make sure that it is, I either credit them or I don't have to credit them, and I will be back. Alright, and see, this is where I wanted to make sure, because the file that I was using was you are free to use it under everything as long as you mention that you did not make the file. So I am printing it, and I am completely allowed to do so. However, I do have to put that I did not make this, and it was made by this person, and give a link to that person's thing. So that is what I just put in right there. Production partners, I don't have anybody that's going to be packing these orders with me at the moment, so that doesn't really matter. If you do have somebody that's helping you pack stuff like that, then, or even print, you're going to want to put them right there. Tags, let's do fidget, .3D printing, cube, why not, ADHD, now that's for, because people who have ADHD a lot of times do like to have fidget toys near them. This is coming from me. I am diagnosed with ADHD, and I currently have, I think, 5 fidget toys next to me right now. Materials, PLA, plastic. Now that's important to add because not all printers use PLA. My resin printer uses ABS-like resin. So that if you were expecting PLA plastic and you got ABS-like resin, or vice versa, you'd be pretty disappointed. So, price. I'm going to put this at just a base $6 for now. Might change it, might not, who knows. For quantities greater than 1, this is going to renew automatically until it sells out. You will be charged 20 cents US dollars per listing. So, as of right now, I'm going to leave it at 1 because I'm printing to order. So, every time that it gets sold, I will have to go back in and put it in again. But that does not mean that that also makes it so that if somebody buys it and that's going to be the last of that item, I never have to renew that item. I don't have to like cancel it before somebody's about to order it, stuff like that. SKU. Alright, SKU, that's more of a thing for you. Say you want to keep track of your inventory, but you don't want to have to constantly pull them out and count them every single time. Well, one way to do that is to give SKU a value, and every time you renew your item, you go back and you add 1, or you add however many sold to that SKU number. That way you know every time you renew it, you are adding 1 to that, so you know how many have sold, and if you do have an inventory, you can keep track of it a lot easier. Variations, so here we are going to, oh, okay, so give me 1 second. Right here, the secondary color, I'm going to get rid of that because this is where we want to do it. Primary color. Okay, so we want to do red and we want to do blue. Now, this is going to make it so that you can give people an option of which one they're going to order. Because I will be printing these as I get them, I'm going to turn both on right away, because why would I not have both on if that way they can have the option? Personalization. This one we will not be doing today, but in the future I will be making a video on how to use this and what it's used for. Shipping. Calculate them for me. So I'm going to be leaving mine at this. But I'm going to be leaving them at calculate them for me due to the fact that I am new at shipping things. I was going to go through USPS and use their they have free boxes they give you that are priority mail. However, shipping with those and paying that pricing would mean I'm paying almost $20 per item, which when I'm selling them for $6, that's a net loss of $14 every single time somebody gets an order. That's nowhere near worth it. So instead, I'm going to be buying some envelopes that are bubble envelopes that can protect the prints and can cut down shipping costs by having the shipping prices calculated through them. Processing time. I'm going to put down 1 to 2 days due to the fact that I do have a job as well, so this will be done whenever I can when I'm not at work. I will be starting it. Once it's done, depending on when that is, I will get it packed up, labeled, and I might have to wait until the next day to ship it off. So 1 to 2 days is perfect time for me. Where I'll ship, I'm going to do only the US for right now. Yeah, I'm going to make it so I'm only doing the US right now because this is my first ever shop. I don't want to be paying international shipping if this isn't going to work out for me. If it does work out, of course I'm going to do international shipping. But we will have to see how that goes. Shipping services, USPS. USPS. Yes. I will be doing USPS. Now, free shipping. Alright, we're not going to worry about this free shipping part yet because I don't know how much shipping these is going to be costing me. So we will see how much that costs over time. Actually, I believe we can figure that out. So 0 pounds and it's 75 ounce. Wait, that's not right. Alright, 12 ounces. When it's packed, it's going to be 4 by 8 by, let's do 0.5. Oh, sorry. 8 by 4 by 0.5. So, let's see. New York. So, right here is a good point where you should figure out what you were going to do. So, if I were to leave mine at $6 and I was to offer free shipping, I would end up losing $4.81, meaning I will be making $2, less than $2 per item if I'm going to Denver. If I'm going to LA, I'd be making less than $1. New York, I'd be making less than $1. Chicago, I'd be making less than $2. And that's per item. So, if I were to offer free shipping and still charge it at $6, I'd be making $2 per item. Now, that's a little iffy for me. Like, I would rather make a little bit more from it. So instead, that makes it so I'd be making about $3 and some change for every item. That is a much better rate than I believe it will be. When you are doing free shipping, you are going to want to make sure you do buy your labels through Etsy so that you can get their discounted price on all your shipping. It's $1.41 cheaper than at the counter if you want to ship to New York, to LA, $1.50 if you want to ship to Denver or Chicago, or I want to. That means that you don't have to pay the full price for labels, and if you calculate your cost of shipping into your overall price, you can offer free shipping, and people will be more willing to buy it because a lot of people don't like having to pay for shipping. So that is going to be something you want to make sure you do. Alright, so I am going to be turning on their basic returns and exchange 30 days because I'm not sure if returns or exchanges will be happening. If they do happen, I will be obviously if something comes down to it, I can help somebody out. Like if it arrives broken, stuff like that, I will work with the customer. But if it's because they don't want it or something like that, it would be better if they do pay for the shipping due to the fact that I am already paying to ship it to them. And it's not like I'm Amazon where I have this giant shipping market. I'm working out of my home. Like it's going to have to be how it is. And honestly, if you buy through Etsy, that's going to be how most people are. You won't get free shipping back if you order something and want to return it, because a lot of people like me will be making it to order, meaning you just gave them inventory on something they did not have. So, now that we have that done, that is the complete first section. So, we're going to hit save and continue. Great job on your first listing. Add more listings. We're going to do that later. I do have, I think, 4 or 5 other things that I will be adding to this for this month. But before I do that, I want to get this shop up and going so that I can start seeing how it works. So I'll do this later. Alright. So right here, getting paid on Etsy, you're going to want to select your country. Tax purposes, I'm an individual, not a business. If you are licensed as a business in your state, make sure you put business. Therefore, they can tax you as a business, not as an individual. This is where you're going to put all of your information. I'm not going to be typing this in yet because obviously you guys should know how to type in your own personal information. So I'm going to go through, fill this out for me, and I will see you on the next page, which will be setting up billing. We now have 1 active listing. Set a free shipping guarantee from your shop. You'll get priority placement in U.S. search results when you offer free shipping on orders $35 and up. No. So, I think at some point we will change how many are in stock in case people do want to order multiple. But now if we go to our dashboard, we see a quick guide to getting your first sale, photos and keywords, add more listings, share your thing. Don't show me this again. Okay. Now, as you can probably tell, it is December 31st, so it is saying 2023 right now, but this will not be uploaded until at least 2024. So, your shop's checklist, nothing I need to do now, meaning here we have it. We have our Etsy shop set up in full, and that is all that we had left to do, was set up billing and all of that. Alright, now that we have the shop set up, everything is ready to go, and all I have to do is start waiting and printing. Now, as I said, I do have, I think, 4 or 5 other products I will be listing on here for the first month. I need to double check that they can be printed and all of that because I did make them myself this time. So once I get those out, tested, everything working, I will make a video adding those in and going over some more details of the shop manager that I did not get to in this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I will get to every single one of them, and I will see you guys in the next video.